Today's news highlights. Time cutoff, 1700 hours. News headline, I never thought that with an annual income of 3 million, there would be a financial deficit. A sincere confession from a high-income family. Release time, August 28, 2020. Information reference, Shangzhou Fortune Network. News highlights, S and Mr. thought they would be able to spend freely with their high income, until financial planning showed they were facing a deficit. They have learned lessons from the conservative financial management model of the past. Insurance should be to prevent future risks, not more is better. Financial planning should be done backwards, setting goals first and then planning the amount. The most important thing is to correctly classify the use of money. From life-saving money to speculation money, every penny should be used with caution. This experience has inspired us that income level is not the key to accumulating wealth. Only correct financial management concepts and rigorous financial planning can bring real security and abundance. News headline, How to buy high dividend ETFs and market capitalization ETFs. Saving stocks is like sowing seeds, don't be too little and don't be afraid of being slow. Release time, April 9, 2024. Information reference, Shangzhou Fortune Network. News focus, Sun's spring plowing, summer plowing, autumn harvest, and winter storage is compared to a stock deposit strategy to trigger readers thinking about financial management. Spring plowing represents planning and preparation, summer plowing represents continued investment and care, autumn harvest represents the realization of gains, and winter storage represents reflection and relaxation. This metaphor emphasizes the importance of planning, continuity, realization of benefits, and self-adjustment in the financial management process, and provides readers with a useful reference for financial management. News headline, 10 years of tracking. For the winners of fund awards, have their returns been good in the past 10 years? Release time, April 9, 2024. Information reference, Shangzhou Fortune Network. News highlights, the Smart Taiwan Fund Awards will announce the winners in March and April, but you need to be cautious when choosing funds. Awarding requires excellent mid to long-term performance. From 2015 to 2024, award-winning Taiwan stock funds performed better than the broader market. For example, the 10-year annualized returns of Allianz Taiwan Smart Fund and Allianz Taiwan DAM Fund reached 22.4% and 19.9% respectively. Investments need to consider the long term. Short-term results do not represent long-term performance. Be wary of data abuse, especially data from incomplete years. Investments need to be prudent and one should not trust temporary performance. News title, Li Qing's first cabinet list will be announced at a press conference at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Release time, April 9, 2024. Data reference, Sanli News Network. News highlights, President-elect Li Qing will take office on May 20. The selection of the cabinet has attracted attention from the outside world. It is reported that the president of the executive yuan will be Zhou Rongta, the former chairman of the Democratic Progressive Party, the vice president is the chairman of the Green Platform Foundation Zhang Lijun, the secretary general of the presidential office may be Pan Mengan, the former county magistrate of Pingdong County. The Democratic Progressive Party issued an interview notice today, 9th. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the National Taiwan University Hospital International Conference Center, the first press conference for Li Qing's new cabinet ministers will be held to officially announce the first wave of cabinet members. News headline, I used to be laughed at for being ugly. Dr. Nguyen takes off his mask to reveal scars and cures patients, don't be afraid. Release time, April 9, 2024. Data reference, Sanli News Network. News highlight, Zhang Xiaowu is a patient with cleft lip and palate and is currently a resident physician in the Department of Otolaryngology at Changgung Memorial Hospital. In an exclusive interview, he shared his experience of overcoming low self-esteem and discrimination, and hoped to help children and parents of craniofacial families. Xiaowu emphasized that cleft lip and palate is not the fault of the parents and should be faced with a positive attitude. He also encouraged craniofacial patients not to doubt themselves and to be brave enough to be themselves, because appearance does not affect intrinsic value. Finally, he called on society not to label patients, but to provide warmth and support to craniofacial patients. News headline, a family of 5 was robbed in Shakadang. When chanting sutras and seeing black butterflies flying in, my grandma burst into tears, my son heard his mother's call. Release time, April 9, 2024. Data reference, Sanli News Network. News highlights, the Hualien County government held the 7th Dharma ceremony for the victims of the 0403 earthquake. A family of 5 members of the Yu family were killed while visiting the Shakadang Trail. The bodies of Yu's father and his daughter have been found, and the other 3 people are missing. Yu Mu saw a black butterfly flying toward her while she was chanting sutras. She felt that her son came back to see her mother, and she burst into tears. Yunnan comes from a poor family and has been an apprentice since he was a teenager. His wife is an accountant and they have 3 children, the youngest of whom is only 5 years old. It was discovered that Yunnan and his daughter were pinned down by rocks, and the 3 of them are still missing. Yu Mu attended the Dharma assembly and burst into tears, expressing that her son had reached consummation and was freed from suffering and achieved happiness. News headline: Jianjiao student was hit by a boulder at work and his leg was broken and his brain died. The teacher was reluctant to leave, he commuted all the time to take care of his grandparents. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: the Hualien 403 earthquake killed 13 people, injured 1,140 people, and left 6 people missing. Among them, a senior high school student named Huang was hit by a falling rock and his legs were trapped in a tunnel for 1 day and 1 night. After being rescued, he was still comatose and almost in a vegetative state. Student Huang manages the family business for his grandparents. Although his family is poor, he has excellent academic performance. He participated in the internship competition and won the distinction. Before the death, he commuted every day to take care of his family and was considered brave and considerate. Teachers and students at the school prayed for him origami cranes and launched a fundraiser, hoping that he could overcome the difficulties and return to normal life. News headline: both parents earn 110,000 yuan a month. A high school student lamented only 210 yuan a week, I really think it's very little. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: a high school student only received 210 yuan of pocket money per week, of which 140 yuan was used for transportation expenses, and the other 70 yuan was only enough to pay for 1 meal out. He was very dissatisfied, thinking that the money was too little and that he did not have enough money for himself. Spending autonomy. Even if you respond to your parents multiple times, it will be ineffective. After the post was exposed, netizens aroused heated discussions. Most of them thought that the money given was too little and suggested that he go work or that his parents should be more understanding. News headline: an artifact to catch adulterers. The parrot at home repeats a sentence like a maniac. The man questioned his wife's cheating and decided to do this. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: a man in Turkey took his wife to court, accusing her of adultery, and brought 2 of his pet parrots as witnesses. The man discovered that the parrot imitated his wife's voice and said, "My husband is not at home, come here," and suspected that his wife was unfaithful to him. He thought that his wife often said this to someone, so he speculated that his wife was having an extramarital affair. The man filed a lawsuit against his wife and brought the parrot to the court to serve as a witness. The case has been admitted but will be adjourned. Lawyers representing the man took photos outside the court, showing him and 2 parrots heading to court. News headline: super practical. Line's new social function is now available, make someone's message disappear with just 1 click. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: Line announced the launch of the latest version 14.5.0, which allows iOS users to manually hide messages from specific members. This feature is very useful for people who use social groups. Users only need to click on the member's avatar to select Hide Messages so that they will no longer see the member's messages and the other party will not know that they are hidden. If you want to unhide it, you can do it easily. It is worth noting that members cannot be hidden if they have administrator status. Although it is currently only available for iOS users, this feature provides more convenience for the management and use of Line communities. News headline: vomiting and diarrhea while traveling as a family. He hugged the toilet for 2 hours and the internet guessed that one virus caused trouble. Release time: April 7, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: a netizen shared on PTT that his family suffered from vomiting and diarrhea after a trip and was worried about food poisoning because they ate at the seafood restaurant at noon and at a nearby seafood restaurant in the evening. A few days later, adults and children suddenly developed symptoms, causing concern. Many netizens speculated that it might be a norovirus infection rather than food poisoning, because food poisoning symptoms usually appear after a few hours, and the incubation period of norovirus is longer. According to the websites of the Food and Drug Administration and the Department of Disease Control and Prevention, symptoms of norovirus infection include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, etc., lasting 1 to 10 days. News headline: others say this temple is very spiritual. You feel uncomfortable after praying? Shocking truth revealed. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: discussions about the disappearance of gods in palaces and temples often appear on online forums, but most of them are untrue. You should be pious and confident in your faith, and do not easily believe in online comments. If you feel special discomfort in a place of worship, you can consider temporarily avoiding it, but you should not overthink it. The reference principles include physical sensations, environmental aura, status of the statues, and emotions felt. Also, attention should be paid to the behavior style of the place and the moral character of the members. The most important thing is to think rationally, not to be superstitious, and to have confidence in your inner judgment, so that you can truly enjoy the meaning of faith. News headline: which high-speed rail station should be demolished? Even locals don't go to this station. Taipei's 3 stations are also criticized, they stop when they speed up. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: during the holidays, the high-speed rail was crowded with people, and the crowding situation was similar to that of the Taiwan Railway. This triggered a discussion among netizens that if a high-speed rail station was to be demolished, Zhonghua was the most popular place to name it. Many people pointed out that there are very few people taking the bus at Zhonghua Station, and most people will choose to get on the train in Taichung, so they believe that the demolition of Zhonghua Station will not affect most passengers. Some people also suggested that Bangqiao, Taipei, and Nangang stations are too densely populated, and suggested that one of them should be removed to improve transportation efficiency. News headline: I'm not hungry but my stomach is growling. Doctors reveal 5 symptoms to be careful about. He has a malignant tumor in his intestines. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Today News Cloud. News highlights: gastroenterologists explained that stomach growling is a normal physiological reaction, which means that blood sugar is too low, stimulating continuous intestinal peristalsis. However, if it is accompanied by symptoms such as abdominal pain, bloating, vomiting, constipation, and inability to pass gas, it may be an intestinal obstruction and you need to seek medical assistance. Bowel sounds may also be related to hyperacidity, gastroenteritis, excess intestinal gas, constipation, and intestinal obstruction. It is especially important to note that intestinal obstruction may be a malignant tumor. If bowel sounds persist for more than a month or are accompanied by other symptoms of abdominal discomfort, you should seek medical attention immediately. News headline: Boa deleted IG without warning after declaring her retirement. Suspected of enough bad comments, he once shouted, "Artists are also human beings." Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Today News Cloud. News highlights: South Korean diva Boa, posted a post on Instagram's limited time story without warning, "Can I retire when my contract is over?" sparking heated discussions. Then all posts were suddenly deleted, sparking discussion. It is speculated that she may have deleted the post due to the recent negative comments. Last month, she also posted a post in response to the negative comments, expressing her helplessness at the negative comments. During the interview in March, he also expressed his dissatisfaction with the busy life and called for respect for the identity of the artist. News headline: It will still rain in 3 places tomorrow. The recovery time is exposed, the hottest 36 degrees. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News focus: today, the cloud and rain area in South China moves eastward, and cloud cover increases in various places. There are local showers in the mountainous areas of central and northern China, and the rain is irregular. The rain will ease tomorrow, but scattered showers are still possible in the eastern half of the country and in the western half of the mountainous areas. Affected by the northeast monsoon, the early morning low temperature in the north is 17 to 19 degrees, the daytime high temperature is 20 to 27 degrees, and the south is about 30 degrees. The northeast monsoon weakened slightly on Thursday, and the rainfall was less severe than the previous 2 days. The temperature will rise day by day over the weekend, but there may still be brief showers in some areas or mountainous areas. News headline: Hunan No. 1 school reported a shocking incident of hurting someone. 3 teachers were killed and injured, the school has spoken out. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News focus: an injury incident occurred at Kong School in Dong'an County, Yangzhou City, Hunan Province. 3 teachers were injured. The assailant was a teacher who once worked at the school and has been controlled by the police. The incident occurred during the evening recess period, and the school took emergency measures to ensure the safety of students. The injured teacher mainly suffered arm trauma, which was not life-threatening, and the students were not injured. There was a verbal conflict before the incident, and the education department mediated. The police intervened in the investigation, and the specific circumstances of the case still need to be clarified. News headline: TSMC's one-man martial arts may drive away American foreign investment. The Financial Supervisory Commission made 2 points of explanation. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: TSMC's shareholding in Taiwan exceeds 30% and may be recognized by the United States as a narrow-based index futures, causing U.S. foreign investors to withdraw from the Taiwan index futures market. The Financial Supervisory Commission pointed out that currently domestic U.S. foreign capital only accounts for 0.7%, and its impact is limited. U.S. foreign capital can continue to invest through overseas subsidiaries. This regulation affects the hedging effect of Taiwan index futures. The Securities and Futures Bureau has paid attention to the market conditions and notified futures traders in advance. In the past, similar situations occurred due to TSMC's excessive weight, and the impact lasted for a year and a half. This regulation only restricts U.S. foreign investment in Taiwan index futures, and other futures commodities are not affected. News headline: No one wants land worth more than 100 billion? Last year, the area of uninherited land nationwide reached 18,000 hectares, which is larger than Kinmen. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: Statistics from the Ministry of the Interior show that there are 18,000 hectares of uninherited land in Taiwan and 650,000 square meters of unprocessed building area, equivalent to 5.2 Taipei 101 buildings. The value of Yundi's post real estate is estimated to exceed 100 billion yuan. Experts point out that as the population ages, inheritance problems become increasingly serious, possibly due to factors such as the inability to find an heir and disagreements. According to statistics, the area of untreated land has doubled in the past 10 years, and the area of untreated buildings has increased by 1.6 times. The competent authority suggests that some heirs may first apply for registration jointly, and then apply for separate registration after all heirs agree. It is recommended to seek professional assistance with tax planning. News headline: Shohei Ohtani's career number 174 is out. 3 hits in the last 5 games, the first heavy reward this season. Release time: April 9, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: Shohei Ohtani played well in the Dodgers game against the Twins today, hitting his 3rd home run of the season, just 1 home run away from the record of Japanese senior Hideki Matsui. He played as the 2nd designated batter and hit a double in the 1st at-bat. He then hit a double to left field in the 3rd at-bat, which was scored by teammate Smith. In the 4th at-bat, facing Twins pitcher Jackson, he hit a cannonball in left field. Ohtani has been performing very well recently. Today he surrendered 3 hits including 1 home run. It was his first 3-hit performance this season and his 3rd home run in the past 5 games. News headline: U.S. Pacific Army Commander, the Russia-Ukraine war became a missile testing ground for North Korea. Release time: April 9, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: Flynn, commander of the U.S. Army Pacific, pointed out that Russia's use of North Korean missiles in the Ukraine war provided North Korea with an opportunity to test weapons in actual combat and may help it improve weapon performance. The United States is concerned about the news that North Korea has obtained weapons, believing that North Korea may gain valuable experience in technology and ammunition. The report pointed out that the United States, South Korea, and other countries accused North Korea of delivering the latest nuclear ballistic missiles to Russia, including the Hwasong-11 type, with a range of 380 to 800 kilometers, which increased Russia's strategic bargaining chip. North Korea claimed to have successfully tested a new type of Hwasong-16B medium and long-range hypersonic ballistic missile. News headline: Will you still be old and poor with a monthly salary of 50,000? 3 obscene appearances of old people in Japan sound the alarm in Taiwan. Release time: January 10, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Low-income elderly people refer to elderly people who have difficulty living a minimum healthy and educated life stipulated by the country. Its characteristics include extremely low income and inability to maintain basic life, little or no savings, inability to cope with unexpected expenditures or enjoy cultural life, social isolation and lack of people to rely on. These elderly people are often trapped in poverty, unable to enjoy social and cultural life, and even face health and safety risks. News headline: To eliminate sexual exploitation of children, Taiwan legislators call for investigation of the group behind it. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: The Epoch Times. News highlights: Huang Zijiao has aroused social condemnation for possessing sexual images of minors. Legislators and artists have called for heavier penalties and emphasized the importance of cutting off the cash flow of criminal groups and strengthening evidence preservation. Although amendments to the Child Sexual Exploitation Prevention Ordinance were passed last year to increase relevant penalties, there are still legislators who have proposed further amendments to the law, including setting different sentencing standards for different situations and forcing online platforms to remove illegal videos within 24 hours. In addition, KMT legislators proposed extending the prosecution period for minor sexual assaults and called for strengthening transnational cooperation to combat crime. News headline: Sweden expels female journalist with CCP background. Scholars analyze underlying reasons. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: The Epoch Times. News highlights: The Swedish government expelled a Chinese female journalist, accusing her of posing a threat to national security. The reporter has close contact with Chinese intelligence officials. His media reports mainly come from Chinese state media, and he has interests in the Chinese embassy in Sweden. This move reflects that Sweden is beginning to face up to the problem of CCP infiltration and sounds the alarm to pro-CCP Chinese. Analysts believe that as China's economy declines, Western countries' attitudes towards the CCP have begun to change. News headline: The White House will host 2 historic summits to send a tough signal to the CCP. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: The Epoch Times. News highlights: The United States will host Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and Philippine President Marcos for a historic summit at the White House. The United States will change its command posture in Japan to enhance deterrence against the CCP and plans to establish a historic trilateral relationship. This move reflects the cooperation of Indo-Pacific allies under the coercion of the Chinese Communist Party and represents the United States' commitment to the Pacific region. The CCP's bullying behavior has pushed the United States, Japan, and the Philippines to come together, especially in the context of tense situations in the South China Sea. U.S. support in the Senkaku Islands and the South China Sea is critical to Japan and the Philippines. News headline: 2 doctors diagnosed a patient at the same time and found out that life and death depend on the doctor. Release time: April 6, 2024. Data reference: The Epoch Times. News highlights: 2 famous doctors in Suzhou City, Su Bingnan and King Puhi Shushan, were hired to treat illnesses and are in critical condition. Mr. Su asserted that there was no cure, but Mr. He was unwilling to give up. He found a faint hope of life in the patient and successfully treated it. However, Mr. Su felt ashamed and determined not to practice medicine anymore. Another story describes Yao Meng's superb medical skills and his ability to diagnose a hidden disease of the official Zhou Legzu. However, Zhou later died on the date mentioned by Yao, which makes people think deeply about the relationship between doctors and fate. News headline: Zhang Zongmu's wife Zhang Shufen is almost 80 years old and it's hard to tell. This is how to prevent sarcopenia, osteoporosis, and thin lower abdomen. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Health 2.0. News highlight: Zhang Shufen, wife of TSMC founder Chang Chung Mao, maintains health through a simple lifestyle, including going to bed early and getting up early, eating more vegetables, and not smoking, drinking tea. She started exercising in her 70s, practicing strength and power training to make her body healthier and slimmer. It is recommended that the elderly engage in strength and power training to prevent muscle loss and fractures due to falls. Dietary recommendations include a moderate amount of protein and fruit at each meal, and choosing sugar-free tea to reap the benefits of antioxidants. News headline: Take a look at the application qualifications for senior housing. The cheapest is only 13,000. Lots of activities, 3 meals prepared by dedicated staff. Release time: April 8, 2024. Data reference: Health 2.0. News highlights: As Taiwan enters a super-aged society, the elderly population increases and reaches 17.8%. Some elderly people choose to live alone or move into senior housing. There are 4 public and private elderly residences in Taipei City, but at least 1,000 people are waiting to move in. The occupancy rate is as high as 90%, with complete facilities and a variety of activities. However, it is not easy to apply for senior housing, and the number of people waiting is increasing year by year. For example, 500 seniors in Dalong senior housing are waiting to be filled. The number of elderly people living alone in Taiwan has increased, causing social problems and housing safety concerns. The government has promoted urban renewal and elderly care policies to encourage overall urban renewal. The rise of the concept of universal housing emphasizes providing the needs of various disadvantaged groups, and the government should subsidize universal housing. News title: First prize of the USR Ecological Sharing Group. National Huawei University of Science and Technology recruits farmers to join the war to turn sugarcane fields into an ecosystem. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: National Huawei University of Science and Technology transformed Taisua sugarcane farmland into an organic farm, introduced the concept of ecological management, allowing farmers to become ecological managers, and cooperated with Ma Kuang Group to create an organic agriculture demonstration area to attract rare birds to inhabit. This project was selected as the first prize of the Foresight USR University Social Responsibility Award and is a model for the development of organic agriculture in Taiwan. Huawei University of Science and Technology is committed to combining education, production, and ecological conservation. Its achievements include increasing the country's organic land area and increasing biodiversity by 59%, demonstrating the effectiveness of CO prosperity and symbiosis of multiple values. News headline: After the Hualien earthquake, Taiwan's surface displaced 45 centimeters. Worst area exposure. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News focus: A 7.2 strong earthquake occurred in Hualien County, the strongest since the 921 incident. Many houses were damaged, and the elevation of Hualien Station increased by 45.1 centimeters and the horizontal displacement was 8.1 centimeters. The displacement in other areas from north to south was about 1 to 6 centimeters, and the horizontal displacement of Hualien New City Station near the epicenter was 8.6 centimeters. Areas with serious displacement impacts include Nanao to Fengbin, west to Jiaofeng, Puli, etc. News headline: 82 people in Kua and Xionglo were found to have vomiting and diarrhea. Doctors boldly speculated on the cause, employees sank the company. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: there have been 82 cases of food poisoning at Wangpan Group's Kua Korean Cuisine and Xiang Spicy Weijiahu Spicy Hot Pot, and norovirus has been initially detected in some patients. The CDC has not officially confirmed the cause of the illness, but speculates that it was caused by an employee who had gastroenteritis and still went to work. The number of diarrhea notifications increased week by week. Last week, it dropped due to consecutive holidays, but there were still 118,953 people. Doctors pointed out that norovirus does not multiply on food, unlike bacteria, and speculated that the source of the spread is from sick people. The incident raised concerns about food safety and employee health. News headline: before the incident, Zhu Xianyang wildly asked Cindy, "Do you want to break up?" After moving out of the love nest, the 5-year relationship ended. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: 25-year-old Zhu Xianyang secretly ate township goddess Wu Zhouyuan, and was exposed to physical contacts such as hugging the waist, touching the face, kissing, etc., causing a sensation. His girlfriend Cindy started questioning. Zhu Xuanyang's manager indirectly admitted the cheating, and Wu Zhouyuan said he was informed that Zhu had broken up before they got involved, which caused controversy. Cindy counterattacked with full force, saying that Wu Zhouyuan's fans asked her not to female-y compete. It was revealed that Zhu Xianyang broke up with Cindy before the exposure, and the two subsequently lost contact. Their love story searching in the city caused dissatisfaction from the management due to the incident, but the filming continued as usual. News headline: AI creates heroes? South Korea's second semiconductor brother emerges. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: competition in the global semiconductor industry is fierce. SK Hynix has expanded its high-bandwidth memory, HBM, production capacity in recent years, becoming the world's largest server DRAM manufacturer. Huida selected SK Hynix as its HBM supplier, causing its stock price to soar. SK Hynix's advantage lies in its advanced technology and it has become an AI accelerator HBM supplier. However, Samsung is lagging behind SK Hynix, trying to catch up and planning to use new technologies. SK Hynix and Samsung are highly dependent on the Chinese market and face US restrictions, but they still have to make decisions on supply. News headline: Lai Ching-tak announces the new cabinet, Cheese Warongta, Mobile Innovation AI Cabinet. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: President-elect Lai Ching-te announced that the new dean is Zhou Rongta, and raised 3 major expectations: establishing an Action Innovation AI Cabinet, solving social issues, implementing the National Hope Project, expressing condolences for the 0403 Hualien earthquake, and thanking the relief workers. He emphasized that Zhou Rongta is good at communication and coordination, familiar with national affairs, and can lead a team to push the country forward. Lai King called on the Chinese people to support the new government and jointly strengthen Taiwan. News headline: Xi Ming's funeral is very low-key. Xi Ming's family has not been buried for nearly 100 days after his death. Xi Ming's family is keeping a low profile. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Xi Ming, former chairman of the Democratic Progressive Party, passed away at the age of 83. He was one of the victims of the Formosa incident. He was imprisoned 3 times for more than 25 years. He later served as chairman of the Democratic Progressive Party and launched the Red Shirt Army's anti-ban movement. Susan Liang proposed that the government bury Xi Ming in a state, which caused waves. However, the Xi family decided to handle the funeral in a low-key manner, without setting up a mourning hall or holding an official memorial ceremony. Xi Ming was open-minded during his lifetime and instructed that his funeral should be simple and low-key, and that his ashes should be placed at home. News headline: The thrilling moment of landslide on Suhua Highway, the yellow card heavy motorcycle rider was found. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: A 7.2 strong earthquake occurred in Hualien on the 3rd. A netizen's driving recorder recorded the moment of the landslide, which attracted attention. There was a yellow card heavy machine rider passing by in the picture. After the earthquake, netizens were worried about his safety, but later learned that the rider had reported that he was safe. The Zhongheng Road Traffic Information Station confirmed the safety of riders and reminded the public to be cautious in case of natural disasters. News headline: 2 cats rescued after Hualien earthquake. Uranus demolished building. The beloved cat of the teacher surnamed Kong who died is still in need of rescue. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: during the Hualien earthquake on April 3, the orange and white cat Tangerine and the tabby cat sister raised by a resident named Yu were successfully rescued during the rescue operation after the Uranus building collapsed. Another teacher surnamed Kong died, and her beloved cat appeared for a time, attracting attention. During the demolition of the building, firefighters successfully recovered the 2 cats, which are currently being sent to the animal hospital for examination. As for the teacher's other cat Huahua, the whereabouts are still unknown, and rescuers have set up traps in the hope of finding him. News headline: Tarakoshanyu village's dream was shocked and the village chief reluctantly announced, laying off employees. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: the Hualien earthquake dealt a heavy blow to the local tourism industry. Hualien Hanpin Hotel laid off 86 employees, and Tarakoshanyu village also announced layoffs due to the closure of the national park and the expiration of contracts. The village chief said that the dream was shattered and the planned training and development were put on hold. The strong earthquake caused serious damage to the Tarako area, damaging cabins and other facilities. Coupled with the uncertain future, the village chief had to make a difficult decision. Netizens expressed their understanding and support for the village chief's decision and looked forward to Tarako's early recovery. News headline: to prevent the damage caused by lychee stink bugs, the forestry department calls on the insects to eat. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: in order to combat the threat of lychee stink bugs, the Chi branch calls on the public to eat bugs, including frying lychee stink bugs into crispy pieces, adding sesame seeds and cheese to make a spread, or adding them with 9-story pagodas, pepper and salt, etc. King course. The Chi County government's previous egg film acquisition plan was suspended due to budget overruns. Scholars pointed out that insects are commonly fried and eaten in Southeast Asian countries, which is a taste of home for migrant workers. They also pointed out that stink bugs can be safely eaten after high-temperature sterilization. Some people enjoy this new cuisine after tasting it, while others still have psychological barriers. News title: The goddess loses her temper. The airborne captain has the inside story. Li Dahai was exposed and used the termination of her contract as a bargaining chip to officially announce herself as the captain. Wei Chuanlong was dumbfounded. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Korean cheerleading goddess Li Dahai switched from Lottie Momoman to Wei Chuanlong and announced that she would become the captain, but announced herself before the team announced it, causing controversy. It was revealed that the team originally did not want her to be the captain, but she insisted and even threatened to terminate the contract. The team was eventually forced to accept it, but only learned of her move an hour before the official announcement, leaving the 2 captains in an awkward situation. Li Dahai was also accused of being ungrateful, and her suspected selfish behavior was also criticized by netizens. The team emphasized that she was the captain who announced herself before the official announcement, and denied the content of the revelation. News headline: Hyun Bin and Sun Yejin are in the same frame for the first time. 2-year-old boy rides in a sports car, the male god is a dutiful son and is envied by the internet, super happy. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Hyun Bin and Sun Yejin, the male and female protagonists of Crash Landing on You, got married in 2022 and welcomed their son Little Sweet Bean in November of the same year. The family of 3 lives happily. Sun Yejin recently shared a photo of a picnic in the park, showing their happy family life, which attracted the attention of netizens. Although they protect their son's privacy, the photos of the family of 3 were taken this time, making netizens happy and envious. In addition, Sun Yejin will visit Taiwan for the first time as a professional on April 16. This will also be her first visit to Taiwan since her debut, which has aroused fans' expectations. News headline: Hualien disaster relief little hero makes great contribution. Naughty rescue dog Roger appears on CNN homepage. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: FTV News. News highlights: the Hualien earthquake killed 13 people and injured more than 1,000 people. Search and rescue work was launched intensively. Kaohsiung City's search and rescue dog Roger performed outstandingly when he found the 3rd victim on the Shakadang Trail. During the interview, Roger captured everyone's hearts with his naughty behavior, even biting down the microphone as a toy. This cute reaction was reported by CNN in the United States and appeared on the homepage of the media. Roger was originally a Labrador who failed the police academy and was too naughty to become a drug detection dog. However, he showed extraordinary abilities in search and rescue operations and became a star in Taiwan's disaster relief. News headline: British and Japanese dignitaries gathered in Washington to reach a consensus on Taiwan Strait and Indo-Pacific peace. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: FTV News. News highlights: Washington is busy this week. The British Foreign Secretary and the Japanese Prime Minister visited the United States. U.S. Secretary of State Blinken pointed out that the United States and the United Kingdom have the same position on ensuring peace in the Taiwan Strait. White House national security officials also stated that the United States and Japan have a consensus on the Taiwan issue and have discussed stability in the Taiwan Strait many times. After discussing important issues with Britain's Cameron, Blinken emphasized the two countries' resistance to China and turned to the Australia-UK Trilateral Security Partnership, AUKUS. Fumio Kishida will meet with Biden during his visit to the United States to discuss AUKUS and other issues, and looks forward to areas of cooperation including the U.S. military stationed in Japan and global supply chains. News headline: Xi Manjao screamed at the gambling king in the street. The mutated face glares and the scene of the quarrel leaks. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Mario Ho, the four-bedroom son of the late gambling tycoon Stanley Ho, and his wife Xi Manjao, a Chinese supermodel, displayed their love in a high-profile manner on social networking sites, but were recently photographed quarreling in the street by self-media. Xi Manjao was emotional and lost her temper with Mario, but Mario remained calm and reached out to caress and coax his wife. Although the reason for the quarrel is unknown, netizens believe that Mario showed a good temper and the quarrel seemed sweet, forming an impression of Xi Manjao as a strict wife. The news generated more than 200 million views on Weibo. News headline: Queen of Lust Zhenlin is getting married. Mizu ordered fresh meat 7 years younger. My husband will definitely love me. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Zhenlin, a 37-year-old sex toy e-commerce owner, has been dating actor Chen Mu for more than a year and decided to register their marriage on Mizu's birthday. Zhenlin thanked her fans for choosing a good day and proudly declared that they were the strongest couple. Although Xiao S once bet that the two of them would only survive for half a year, Zhenlin smiled and said that she would survive the 6 months and thanked Xiao S for motivating her. After the love affair was exposed last year, she happily expressed that getting along with Chen Mu was amicable. Chen Mu changed her concept of marriage and gave her the idea of getting married. News headline: Idiot princess was brutally killed by pimp SM and stuffed into the refrigerator. Footage exposed. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Internet celebrity idiot princess challenges the big screen for the first time, starring in the horror film Ghost Sky, playing a sex worker who suffers cruel SM and violent abuse. The scenes are shocking. She admitted that she resisted before the filming because she was worried that she would not be able to achieve the desired effect, so she specially found a yoga teacher to practice. Regarding the scene of being stuffed into the refrigerator, she initially viewed it from a performance perspective, but after understanding the actual process, she began to resist, fearing that she would not be able to achieve the desired effect. On the set, she actually lay down in a small refrigerator, surrounded by more than 10 staff members, including the director team, art and styling team, and special effects makeup artists working on the specially designed terrifying prosthetic feet. News headline: Actress was beaten to the point of disfigurement by her military father and angrily called the police. She wasn't paying attention to reading and was kicked so hard that she suffered a concussion. Left home at the age of 16. Release time: April 9, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Artist Song Yuki talked about her experience of being strictly disciplined by her father in Shenzhen UCI. She was beaten to the point of disfigurement, kicked to the point of concussion, and finally ran away from home. Her father was strict in discipline. For example, he stipulated that she could not watch TV while eating, and those who violated the rules would be beaten. She even called the police after being beaten because of an argument. After leaving home at the age of 16, her father tried to save her, but one time when he returned home, he was questioned about gynecological drugs, which triggered a family dispute and made it difficult for her to forgive. Although she tried to reconcile after her father became seriously ill, she was unable to face his death, which became a permanent regret. News headline: Growing up with domestic violence. Local drama goddess sheds tears as she reveals she hates her mother and does not know the alphabet 1 act, I Forgive Her. Release time: April 10, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Actress Zhang Jiayi recently revealed her painful childhood memories on social platforms. She confessed that she grew up in an abusive environment. After her parents divorced, she was raised by her mother, but she was beaten and scolded. She once resented her mother, but later realized her mother's difficulties, forgave her and realized the importance of love. Zhang Jiayi expressed his love and understanding for his mother affectionately, believing that love can resolve many impossible dilemmas, and believed that her mother would forgive her in heaven. News headline: Lifetime salary is gone. Air Force Master Sergeant ordered to retire from service after 19 years of service for this reason. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlight: Master Sergeant First Class Su, surnamed Su, was prosecuted for drunk driving. Although he received a deferred prosecution, he was still sanctioned by the military for 2 major demerits and a discharge. Su was dissatisfied with this decision and filed a petition and administrative lawsuit, but they were rejected. The court found that the military's discretion was not illegal and pointed out that Su did not perform well at work and did not answer the survey on drinking habits honestly. The Military People's Council determined that Su had violated military honor and deemed him unfit for active service. The court believed that the military's punishment was reasonable and therefore rejected Su's petition. News headline: One-stop shopping for work, sports, vacation, and leisure. Ilade Yilei's preface: Nangang CITIC store is a great place to shop. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: The fashion brand Ilade Yilei Preface has opened in Nangang CITIC store. It combines the 3 major brands of Ilade Yilei, Oei and Yuanli to provide a variety of fashion selections. The new spring and summer products use themes such as Fairyland City and Secret Garden to present romantic feelings and street style, allowing women to show their personality and confidence. Yuan Dynamics launches the Sports Classic series, which combines tennis style and feminine sports to inject fashion into sportswear. The new store provides a comfortable and elegant shopping space, allowing customers to choose their favorite clothing, show their own style, and inject fashion charm into their lives. News headline: A mainland Chinese girl's daring outfit attracted attention when traveling in Hong Kong. She was criticized for her domineering reply but received likes. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: A mainland woman shared her experience of traveling to Hong Kong on Zaya Hongshu. She successfully attracted everyone's attention by wearing colorful clothes and dining at a food stall, triggering heated discussions among netizens. Although some admirers praised her beautiful dress, some critics thought it was too exaggerated. The original Po responded domineeringly, saying that he would not argue with critics and that he respected freedom of speech. His response was affirmed by other netizens. News headline: The 65-year-old and the 21-year-old grandfather-grandson relationship were exposed and scolded, and they broke up quickly. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: A grandfather-grandson relationship recently broke out in the Western entertainment industry. Vittorio, 65 years old, the owner of an Italian restaurant chain, is dating O'Kelly, 21 years old, the daughter of music industry boss Russell Simmons. Triggering heated public discussion. Netizens ridiculed the large age gap between the two and the woman's high status, wondering why they chose Vittorio. Although some people pointed out that Vittorio had special charm, sources said that the two had broken up long ago, but O'Kelly claimed on social networking sites that Vittorio was her boyfriend, but the truth is unknown. News headline: When dining in Japan, Taiwanese queued up to unzip. Netizens scolded, "Don't go abroad if you don't have the quality." Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: A female netizen was traveling in Japan. While waiting in line to enjoy a hamburger steak, she encountered other Taiwanese people who unpacked, causing the original queue of 2 people to become a large group of 8 people. The original Po was very dissatisfied and pointed out that this behavior lacked courtesy and quality and showed disrespect for others. Netizens shared similar experiences and expressed disgust and confusion at such behavior. News headline: Navy lady officer hit and killed high school student, ran into a light, and was cruelly dragged in a $5.88 million settlement. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News. News highlights: In September last year, a Kaohsiung naval officer surnamed Zhou was waiting for a red light near Liankatan. A vehicle suddenly swerved and hit a father and son surnamed Wu who were riding in front of them. The 17-year-old high school student surnamed Wu died. 4 other people were injured. The Kwoto District Court ruled that Ms. Zhou was sentenced to 6 months in prison for negligent death, suspended for 3 years, and paid 5.88 million yuan to reconcile with her family. The case held that Zhou's surrender and active reconciliation would help reduce her criminal liability. News headline: 4 zodiac signs will have good fortune after Qingming Festival. Snakes' connections lead to money, tigers create new opportunities. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News. News focus: After the Qingming Festival, the zodiac sign that welcomes the 3rd month of the lunar calendar is the rabbit. It ranks first among the wealth fortunes. Especially in the home furnishing industry, food, art, and other related industries, it is expected to gain huge profits. Tiger zodiac signs have opportunities for career breakthroughs, and it is recommended to start new projects or improve professional skills. Snakes can gain wealth through connections and social interactions, while horses should pay attention to high-risk, high-return investment opportunities. Eiffel suggested that each zodiac animal should seize the opportunity to make money in the corresponding field and pay attention to the layout of the financial position in the north or northeast. News headline: Just celebrated my 25th birthday. Internet celebrity Lutn Mei suddenly died of illness. She suffered from severe diarrhea and was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News. News highlights: Lu Yi, a sweet internet celebrity from mainland China, became a music teacher after graduating from university. However, she suffered from diarrhea due to unknown reasons. She was eventually diagnosed with late-stage rectal cancer and died 2 days after her 25th birthday. Lu Yi made a wish list before his death, and the last one was to help his brother find a girlfriend. After the millionaire internet celebrity Mr. Grumpy learned about it, he invited his brother to Dali, Yunnan, to fulfill Lu Yi's last wish. News headline: Hualien strong earthquake on the 8th day. Father and daughter surnamed You will probably dig out today. Heavy machinery is approaching. Search and rescue progress revealed. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News focus: A 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in Hualien, killing 13 people and leaving 6 missing. The father and daughter surnamed You have not yet been dug out due to the heavy weight of the boulder, but the search and rescue is expected to be completed today. The search and rescue team is already preparing to fill in the dirt and prepare to cross the river to contact the site. It is expected that the father and daughter You will be dug out today. Another missing Singaporean couple will be searched and rescued by 3 search and rescue dogs and 6 search and rescue personnel. Although there was rain in the morning, the weather gradually cleared up and there were no aftershocks, which can speed up the search and rescue progress. At the same time, large heavy machinery has approached the place where You and his daughter are trapped and will help them escape. News headline: Look at the list at once. Li Qing's first full personnel announcement: Zhou Rongta, Zheng Lejun, Gong Mingzhen are included in the list. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: Quasi-President Li Qing is about to take office, and there is news about the cabinet personnel of the new government. Zhou Rongta, Zheng Lejun, and Gong Mingzhen will form the Executive Yuan Iron Triangle and serve as the President, Vice President and Secretary General of the Executive Yuan. The Democratic Progressive Party will announce the new cabinet minister at 9 a.m. today. Chen Shikai serves as the spokesperson of the Executive Yuan, Pan Mengan takes over as the Secretary General of the Presidential Office, and Lin Yusheng serves as the Secretary General of the Democratic Progressive Party. Other personnel arrangements include Li Menjian being transferred to the Minister of Transport, Lu Shifang taking over the Ministry of Home Affairs, Chen Shuzi becoming the Controller, and Guan Bailing being retained as the Chairman of the Maritime Commission. News headline: Food safety scandals erupt one after another. The number of diarrhea notifications in Taiwan increased for 3 consecutive weeks. The number of reports of diarrhea in Taiwan exceeded 145,000 that week. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: Recently, food poisoning incidents have occurred in many restaurants in Taiwan, including Kyowa Taipei West Store, Xiang Spicy Weijiahu Spicy Hot Pot West Store and Beifang Yunji Baita Gongguan Store in Baita City, owned by Wangpin Group. Statistics from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show that the number of diarrhea notifications across Taiwan has increased for 3 consecutive weeks, reaching a record high of 145,000 from March 17 to 29. A total of 82 people in Kyowa and Xiongla became unwell, and 4 people were poisoned at Beifang Yunji Baita store. In this regard, the preliminary test results of the CDC showed that the patient was positive for norovirus, and it was speculated that the infection may be through the fecal-oral route. The Health Bureau has asked relevant restaurants to improve sanitary conditions and strengthen inspections. News headline: Rumor has it that the Taiwan office is the venue for the second meeting between Ma and Xi. Guo Zhengliang reveals the meaning. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: Taiwanese media revealed that the second meeting between Ma and Xi is scheduled to be held on the afternoon of the 10th, and participants must undergo 2 nucleic acid tests before noon that day. The text message requested the media to gather at the north gate of the Great Hall of the People at 14:45 on the 10th, but did not explicitly mention the Malaysia Xi second meeting. During Ma Yingzhi's visit to mainland China, Taiwanese media conducted 2 nucleic acid tests. As for whether the meeting will take place in the Taiwan Affairs Office, it has aroused concern. Guo Zhengliang pointed out that if it is held in the Taiwan Hall, Ma Yingzhi may need to explain the connotation of the 1992 consensus, otherwise it may be interpreted as acquiescing to unification. Guo also emphasized that Ma Yingzhu has always focused on national identity, but pointed out that attention must be paid to the position of speech. News headline: he lamented that a lot of business districts in Taipei have declined. The network named District 1 and commented, "Only the elderly are left." Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: netizens pointed out that in Taipei City, except for the East District, shops in Mansion and other areas are gradually disappearing, and living functions are getting worse. On the contrary, it is believed that the functions in the outer areas of Taipei such as Xinzhuang, Lingkou and Xindian are better, which triggered a heated discussion. Some people point to the decline of Da'an District, but others think that housing prices are the reality. During the discussion, netizens who sympathized with the decline of the Mansion said that the shops had disappeared and the city appearance had deteriorated. However, some people countered by pointing out that the crowds of mansions were still large and the high housing prices did not fit the argument of decline. News headline: is drinking coffee bad for your heart? Research reveals the impact of one on two types of people to pay attention to. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: cardiologist Liu Zhongping pointed out that current research shows that coffee is harmless to the heart, but it may increase early ventricular contraction, leading to 30 minutes less sleep. He suggested that people who suffer from poor sleep or are prone to heart palpitations should drink no more than 1 cup of coffee a day. However, there is nothing wrong with drinking coffee in moderation to increase your motivation during the day. News headline: the 520 theme continues to ferment. This military industry stock has reached its daily limit, and nearly 20,000 people are queuing up to buy. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: presumptive President Lai Ching announced the first cabinet candidate, former Democratic Progressive Party Chairman Zhou Rongta as the executive president. The market attention increased, especially the military industry stocks. AirAsia's stock price jumped sharply, rising by 40.85 yuan. Nearly 20,000 orders were queued up. In terms of cabinet personnel configuration, the candidates for the national security and diplomatic systems have been roughly determined. Foreign Minister Wu Zhaoxi will serve as Secretary General of the National Security Council, and current Secretary General of the National Security Council Gu Liqiang will take over as Minister of Defense. The government is actively promoting UAV and aerospace industry policies, and related companies are expected to be included in the list. The U.S. Defense and Aerospace Delegation has secretly visited Taiwan to pave the way for industrial cooperation between the two sides. Taiwan stocks continued to fluctuate during the session, with policy-themed stocks such as military industry, aerospace, and heavy electronics performing better, and stocks such as AirAsia and Evergreen Aerospace showing an upward trend. News headline: high-dividend ETFs compete with each other. This high-dividend ETF's performance is impressive. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: in 2024, high-dividend ETFs continue to attract market attention, and many new forces have entered the market, becoming the choice of investors for asset allocation. Driven by large capitalization stocks, Taiwan stocks rose 15.98% in March, but only 3 high-dividend ETFs outperformed the weighted index, including KGI High Dividend Select 30, 00915, and Fubon Select High Dividend 30, 00900. Hecunyi Taiwan Select High Interest Rate, 00919. Among them, KGI Select High Dividend 30 has performed well in 2023 and has continued to outperform the market this year, showing strong performance. The legal person recommends that investors should be cautious, make arrangements in batches, and continue to accumulate positions to participate in the Taiwan stock market. News headline: Taiwanese OEM giants such as Quanta and Hon Hai released their revenue. Who performed the best in March? Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: the global server market continues to improve. Taiwanese foundries including Quanta, Wistron, Inventec, Compal, and Hon Hai have made plans in advance and recently announced their March revenue. Among them, Quanta's monthly revenue has bucked the trend and reached the 100 billion mark, and it expects server revenue to grow at double digits. Wistron also hit a new high, and it expects notebooks, monitors and AI server shipments to grow. Inventec's single-month revenue reached a new high, and AI server revenue is expected to double. Compal expects PC and non-PC shipments to grow simultaneously. Hon Hai's revenue in March increased by 26.9% month-on-month, and the outlook is number 2. Quarterly operations still maintain quarterly and annual growth. Companies look forward to a good market environment in the future and continue to be optimistic about their performance. News headline: Research: TSMC's 2nm process mass production is expected to be delayed until the end of 2026. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: TSMC's 3nm flagship smartphone applications are expected to grow in the second half of 2024, but mass production of the 2nm process will be delayed until the end of 2026, according to a Counterpoint research report. The smartphone semiconductor market is expected to recover in 2024, especially with the transition of flagship mobile phone chips from 4 to 5 nm to 3 nm processes and the continued expansion of the high-end smartphone market. For semiconductor companies, MediaTek and Qualcomm will benefit a lot from the upgrade from 4G to 5G Guaranis. As for SMIC, its market share in 6 to 7 nm will continue to grow, but it faces the challenge of transitioning to more advanced processes. News headline: the main reason why Taiwanese girl and Korean daughter-in-law ended their 13-year marriage is revealed. Mother-in-law said, "Mom and Dad love you very much." She burst into tears. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Ida Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights: the well-known blogger Taiwan girl Korean daughter-in-law confirmed to Ida Day Star Cloud today that her 13-year marriage with Kui Lilang ended. The reason was not the parents-in-law or children, but because of different living habits and values, and they reached an amicable breakup. She maintains a friendly relationship with her former mother-in-law's family, and was deeply moved when she received a message from her mother-in-law saying "Mom and Dad love you very much." Despite the separation, she maintains a friendly relationship with her ex-husband and his family. News headline: kissing in car intimate photo taken. Zhang Ruofen has a handsome new love on the basketball court. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Ida Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights: after tear-jerking diva Zhang Ruofen emerged on the live broadcast platform, she participated in The King of Voices and achieved 6th place, making her official debut. Recently, she was spotted having an intimate date with her boyfriend and spending afternoon tea with her boyfriend's parents. The two have a sweet relationship and are recognized by their parents. They enjoyed time in stores, restaurants, and basketball courts, interacting closely with each other and showing a happy relationship. As for Zhang Ruofen's Sony Music, they respect her private life and do not interfere. News headline: found it. Female body unearthed in Shakadeng for 0.5k, identity to be investigated. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Ida Day News Cloud. News focus: the 0403 magnitude 7.2 earthquake caused serious casualties in the Hualien area. 6 people are still missing. 3 monsters have advanced into the 0.5k collapse of the Shakadeng Trail early this morning, 10th, and arrived at the site where the father and daughter named Yu were injured. Earlier, during the relay excavation by 3 monsters, the rescue team first came into contact with the first body, which was visually inspected to be female. After spending 30 minutes, the body was removed at 11:45 am. The detailed identity is still to be determined. Check. News headline: transferred for homicide. The Godsman and Godsister in the National Sanshung neck-cutting case may be detained. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Zhongtian News. News highlights: on March 21, the new Taipei District Court transferred 2 teenagers to the prosecutor for investigation, accusing them of committing felonies for more than 5 years, but did not disclose the specific charges. The court stated that it was unwilling to provide pre-existing charges in consideration of the Juvenile Incident Handling Act and the non-disclosure of investigations. The boy surnamed Guo and the girl surnamed Lin did not protest and the case was finalized. On April 12, the case will be officially transferred to the prosecutor. It is reported that the cause of the case is criminal homicide. Prosecutors may seek new custody of the 2 men. News headline: the price of Fohang soy milk has increased again. 6 major items increased by 5 yuan at once. He sighed, there are still too many people. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Zhongtian News. News highlights: Taipei's well-known Fohang soy milk store has increased prices again. Senior media person Huang Yangming shared his consumption experience. He pointed out that he bought the same product in February this year and today, and the price increased by 5 yuan. The store quietly increased the prices of soy milk, brown rice milk, salty soy milk, caramel cookies, green onion salty cakes, shredded radish cakes and other products. Despite the price increase, there are still many people queuing up to buy, and the store is still crowded, even as close to exit 4 of the Shandao Temple MRT station. News headline: the front has gone and the rain has stopped. The temperature is gradually rising, it will be as hot as summer for the next 3 days from tomorrow and the timing of rain will turn to rain. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Zhongtian News. News highlights: the Central Meteorological Administration stated that although the overall rainfall has slowed down today, there is still residual moisture. It will be cloudy with occasional brief rains in the eastern half of the area and the western half of the mountainous areas. There is also a chance of sporadic rainfall in Greater Taipei in the western half of the morning. Starting from daytime, the central and southern plains will become cloudy to sunny. There were more than 800 aftershocks in the week after the Hualien earthquake, and the Meteorological Administration warned that the warning may last for 3 months. Expert forecasts indicate that from tomorrow to Saturday it will be sunny and cloudy in various places, with temperatures rising day by day. There may be sporadic light rainfall in some areas in the afternoon and in the eastern half. The weather will be fine and stable at the beginning of next week, and the temperature will rise. However, there may be localized short-lived rain in northern Taiwan and the eastern half from Tuesday afternoon. News headline: 3 days to count. Yo-Yo Parent-Child Carnival Taiko Show debuts, attracting thousands of pilgrims. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News highlights: the Yo-Yo Parent-Child Carnival will be held on April 13 at the Metropolitan Park in New Taipei City. In order to surprise the children, the brothers and sisters of the Yo-Yo family practiced the taiko drum show with all their strength. Even if their hands were broken, they did not flinch. During the rehearsal, they showed tacit understanding and momentum and will bring a brand new performance. During the training, they worked hard to practice their taiko drum skills. Although their hands had blisters, their tacit understanding and combat effectiveness improved rapidly. In addition to the taiko drum show, this year's event also includes mascot puppets, air puppet interactions, as well as the first of its kind Gabby Dollhouse and online level-breaking games, attracting parents and children to participate. News headline: Starbucks in the soy milk world. Urjixuan starts at $70 per bottle, shocking news that stall is closed. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News highlights: the well-known Wenking soy milk shop Urjixuan on Yongkong Street suddenly closed its stalls, which surprised fans. The store is famous for its soy milk packaged in Japanese style. A 380 cubic centimeters can cost 70 yuan. It was once sold in supermarkets and became a hit. However, recently, it was suddenly discovered that almost all stalls were closed, the stores were emptied, and the business was closed without warning. There were originally 9 branches in Zhuangbei, but all of them are now closed. The reason for the closure has not yet been determined, and neither the store nor nearby stores are aware of it. People and tourists were surprised and regretful about the sudden closure. News headline: Strong earthquake hits, brave father hugs infant son and runs for life, falls and fractures but still protects son. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: China Television News. News highlights: a community building in Hualien City was severely damaged in the earthquake. A father named Wu fell and fractured his hand while holding his child to escape. He still hugged the child tightly and struggled to get up to escape. Another father took the risk and rushed into the building to rescue his disabled son in a wheelchair. The heroic actions of the 2 fathers demonstrated the warmth of family affection during the earthquake. The earthquake caused serious damage to the interior of the building, and the father's family was also affected, but they still showed selfless protection and love for their family. News headline: Hualien Ziyulan slope collapsed and the foundation was loose. Wenlan villagers were afraid to live in their homes. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: China Television News. News highlights: the Hualien earthquake on April 3 caused a 1-kilometer-long slope collapse in Wenlan village, Ziyulan township, causing the foundation behind the house to loosen and making it impossible for residents to live in it. The village chief and residents could only use canvas to cover the area and temporarily reinforce it with cement to prevent further serious hollowing out of earth and rocks. Residents only realized the problem after they discovered the ground was slipping. They have now requested the central government to obtain funds for emergency repair projects, hoping that residents can live and work in peace and contentment as soon as possible. News headline: the National Referendum Electronic Signature System goes online on April 10. See operation methods and necessary documents at once. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Chen Xiaojian, Deputy Chairman of the Central Election Commission, announced that the National Referendum Electronic Signature System will be launched on April 10. People can use natural person credentials or enter their ID number to complete the signature. Proposers can choose to solicit signatures electronically or on paper in parallel, and the system has a reminder mechanism for repeated signatures. The signing period is from April 10 to 30. The public can go to the website of this election committee to sign and provide opinions on its use. Electronic voting is still not considered, and electronic signatures are only at the signature stage. The Central Election Commission respects the legislators' proposals, will handle election affairs steadily, and will consider information security issues. News headline: is Hong Kong the newest World Heritage? The status of financial center may not be restored. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: the Hong Kong government quickly passed Article 23 of the Hong Kong Basic Law on March 16, sparking concerns from the outside world that this move would not only intensify the suppression of people's freedoms, but may also cause Hong Kong to lose its status as a financial center. Article 23 stipulates that stealing state secrets and endangering national security are crimes punishable by up to life imprisonment. Opponents said the move would further stifle dissent and erode Hong Kong's promise of freedoms before the handover. The outside world is worried that this move will reduce Hong Kong's attractiveness as an international business center. Corporate talents are leaving Hong Kong, and Singapore has surpassed Hong Kong to become the third global financial center. Hong Kong's economy has continued to decline, falling by more than 40% since the anti-extradition movement in 2019, and has been affected by China's economic slowdown. Hong Kong's future development remains uncertain. News headline: 6 ChatGPT tips to speed up your learning of any subject. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlight: ChatGPT is a powerful learning tool, but its answers can sometimes leave people feeling unsatisfied. By providing clear instructions, reference materials, breaking down complex tasks, giving time to think, using external tools, and systematically testing instructions and other techniques, ChatGPT can be guided to better understand the task and provide accurate answers. This includes assigning specific roles, providing references, categorizing issues, allowing time to think, etc. These strategies help improve the performance of ChatGPT, making it a more effective learning partner. News headline: Darwin's first case of recalling a district chief, only 4 in the country, has achieved the realization of local autonomy and democracy. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: the recent removal of Wang Zilan, the head of Darwin City's Shitoli village, has aroused widespread discussion. Wang Zilan, a former doctor, ran for election without party membership and was elected with an absolute advantage. However, the recall proposal pointed out that he rarely showed up, was at odds with other neighborhood elders, and had legal disputes with residents. Wang Zilan countered with performance, pointing out that there has been growth in performance. This case highlights the close relationship between local chiefs and residents' lives and the importance of the recall system in local self-government. News headline: The sacred mountain that protects the country enters Kaohsiung. TSMC Concept House Nanzi Factory drives Zhouying, Renwu, Quoto. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: TSMC is actively setting up factories in southern Taiwan, investing 2 trillion to build 3 2nm factories in Nanzi Industrial Park, and is considering adding 2 new 1.4 or 1nm factories, with a total investment of 4 trillion. It is expected to introduce 10,000 engineers to stimulate Kaohsiung's real estate market. There is even a concept of TSMC Concept House, and the real estate market is very popular. Nanzi area has convenient transportation, which has boosted the real estate market in Zhouying, Renwu and Quoto. The government plans the North Kaohsiung Ecological Corridor project to combine technology and ecology to improve environmental quality and attract more talents. News headline: Daejia Ma's pioneer in circumnavigating the border and reporting the red line to Matsai is still alive after a long time? Insert the incense flag like this to blow up the gods. Release time: April 7, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Taichung Zhenlan Palace's Daejia Mazu pilgrimage will be launched on April 5, 2024, attracting 180,000 believers to participate. The important role of Bai Ma Chai is responsible for checking safety, reporting road conditions, and distributing red lines to believers to pray for God's blessing. Believers need to abide by many taboos, such as purifying themselves, wearing new clothes, taboos about speaking dirty words, and respecting gods and traditional customs. The circumnavigation lasts for 9 days and 8 nights, and believers need to have physical strength and piety to receive the blessings of the gods. News headline: Ma and Xi's second meeting will appear at 4 p.m. Chu Lilong confirmed, promote peaceful exchanges across the Taiwan Strait. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: former President Ma Ying-jeou leads a delegation to visit mainland China, and it is rumored that the Ma Ying-Xi second meeting will be held in the afternoon. Kuomintang Chairman Zhu Lilong confirmed that the Ma and Xi second meeting will be held at 4 p.m., wishing Ma Ying-jeou a successful visit to China, and emphasized that the Kuomintang promotes pragmatic exchanges across the Taiwan Strait to create a peaceful environment and create a win-win situation. He called for upholding the basic principles of cross-strait exchanges and pointed out that the Kuomintang's line is pro-America, friendship with Japan, and peace with the mainland, and will continue to promote steady, pragmatic, and win-win exchanges between the two sides in the future. Regarding the Democratic Progressive Party's continued anti-China and anti-China attitude, Chu Lilong warned, emphasizing that Taiwan needs to avoid victimization. News headline: the number of patients with vomiting and diarrhea is increasing. Doctors urge you to do one thing quickly to prevent winning the bid: be careful about drinking fecal water. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Taiwan has been experiencing constant food safety turmoil recently. Food poisoning incidents have been reported in many well-known restaurants, triggering panic across Taiwan. Zhang Guanyu, a specialist in integrative medicine, pointed out that there has been an increase in patients seeking treatment for diarrhea recently, and he reminded the public that not only food may cause food poisoning, but water contamination also requires attention. He warned that if the water source has an unusual color, smell, or feels sticky, it may be contaminated. In particular, old buildings are prone to leaking water pipes, forming stagnant water, which in turn affects water sources. It is recommended that water sources be tested regularly to ensure water safety at home. News headline: King of Vitamin B Complex, Yellow Banana is the most anti-aging. 3 Steps to a Delicious Breakfast. Release time: April 5, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Yellow bananas are not only delicious, they are also rich in beauty vitamins B2, B3, and B6, which help promote lipid metabolism, prevent dermatitis, and improve dry skin. Compared with other fruits, bananas have the highest and balanced content of beauty vitamins. In addition, bananas are also one of the foods with the strongest antioxidant power. It is recommended to use bananas to make healthy recipes, such as banana nut sandwiches and banana salad with lemon yogurt dressing, which are not only nutritious but also make the food more varied. News headline: Check-in at Xiaobei department store at 6:30 in the morning. A vote of parents resonates, all mothers understand. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Xiaobei department store, a well-known chain of lifestyle hardware shopping malls, has become the first choice for many parents when their children need emergency supplies due to its 24-hour operation. A local mother checked in at Xiaobei department store at 6:30 in the morning, which resonated with a large number of parents, because her children often only tell their children what they need for the next day before going to bed. While other stores have closed or have not yet opened, only Xiaobei department store provides convenience. Netizens have praised Xiaobei department store as a good place to buy stationery and temporary supplies in the morning. They agree that children often only remember the items they need in the morning, and Xiaobei department store can solve this problem. News headline: Huida spends $250 million to attack. Vietnam's FDI in the first quarter of 2024 increased by 13% year-on-year. Release time: April 10, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: The Sino-US trade war and China's economic slowdown have made Southeast Asia a popular destination for international companies to relocate their supply chains, especially Vietnam, which has attracted investment from many multinational companies. The amount of foreign direct investment in Vietnam continues to increase, and will increase significantly in 2023, with manufacturing accounting for the highest proportion. The amount of Japanese companies investing in Vietnam increased by 2.1 times, mainly due to Vietnam's growing private consumption power and its attractiveness as a labor alternative. At the same time, American companies have also begun to increase investment in Vietnam, including well-known companies such as Meta and Boeing. It is expected that these investments will further promote Vietnam's economic development and enable it to achieve more achievements in areas such as AI and renewable energy. News headline: Can ESG become a powerful tool for enterprises? Epson gives volunteers time off to encourage all employees to take action. Release time: April 9, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Wang Xinyi of Taiwan Epson Technology, Epson, pointed out that corporate governance and sustainable management are good debts for companies. Although they require investment costs, they will gradually form a virtuous cycle and promote corporate growth. Epson has already integrated sustainability into its corporate culture and actively implemented it in daily life. The company has also made breakthroughs in technological innovation. For example, the heat-free Geekly photocopier can reduce power consumption by 85%, and digital printing technology can help the fashion industry reduce water pollution. Epson combines the concept of sustainability with core values to achieve sustainable operations and profits, and is known as one of the models of sustainable operations.